We are live with Lunch Break Live. We have amazing chef Dianne Wenz. What are you making today?
I'm going to be making pulled mushroom barbecue sandwiches with homemade barbecue sauce. And it all comes together, sauce and everything, it all comes together in about 20 minutes.
Woo! Let's get cooking. Take it away.
Yeah, okay. So I have a pan here with some oil that I've preheated, and I'm going to add some chopped onions. This is about half of an onion. You can use however much onion you like. If you have a small onion, you can use that. So we're going to want this to cook for about 5 minutes until it starts to brown. And while that is starting to brown, I'm going to start the barbecue sauce. And the barbecue sauce is super simple. So I've got a cup of ketchup here. I'm going to put this in the pan. Barbecue sauce is pretty much just throwing everything together into a pan and mixing it and letting it simmer. So I know there are different kinds of barbecue sauce. I don't know any. I'm from New Jersey. We don't know barbecue sauce here. We just like to eat it. So you can play with the ingredients, adjust it however you like. So this is 3 tablespoons of molasses. And this is just regular molasses. I know there are different kinds. It just said molasses on the container. As much as we can in there. And then
welcome everyone again to Lunch Break Live, and we have an incredible dish here today. You're going to discover the secret of making pulled mushroom barbecue sandwiches, and you're starting there with the sauce, right? Take it away.
Yeah. So this is the sauce. This is just some yellow mustard, 2 tablespoons of yellow mustard, and then I've got a tablespoon of tamari. You can use soy sauce. And then this is some apple cider vinegar, and that gives it that kind of tang that we know from barbecue sauce. And then I have half a teaspoon of onion powder, half a teaspoon of garlic powder, a little bit of cayenne, and some salt. And I'm going to put that in there. And so I'm just going to mix that up. And you can adjust this if you like spicy barbecue sauce, you can put some more cayenne in. If you like smoky barbecue sauce, you can add a little smoked paprika or some liquid smoke. If you like fruity barbecue sauce, you can add a little bit of fruit and then blend it later. So you can adjust this and play with it as you like. This recipe is from my second cookbook, Eating Vegan, and one of my recipe testers says he loves barbecue sauce, and this was actually his favorite that he'd ever tried, my sauce, which kind of surprised me because, like I said, in New Jersey we don't do barbecue sauce too much, but I know what I like to eat. So the onions are starting to look brown. We're going to give that just another minute or so to get them nice and brown.
All righty, again, we are live, everybody, with Lunch Break Live. I want to welcome Tina and Tom and all the others that are watching out there. We are so grateful that you watch our show on a regular with 12:30 live every day, Pacific Standard Daylight, whatever time it is, whatever season it is. And we have the amazing Dianne Wenz, who is a cookbook author. She is also, well, tell us a little bit why you're cooking there. What are some of your favorite dishes to make?
Oh, gosh, I love tacos. Tacos are my favorite, and I'll put pretty much anything in a taco. I'm adding a little bit of garlic here. That's 2 cloves of chopped garlic. I'm going to do that for about a minute. Just let that cook. And then I've got, this is about a pound of cremini mushrooms chopped. You can use white button mushrooms, and these are just sliced. I just slice them really quickly. If you got a food processor, you can throw them in the food processor. If you want to, this isn't like traditional pulled pork. I've never had pulled pork. It's not pulled. If you really want to do that pulled effect that they do in those sandwiches, you can get like oyster mushrooms and pull them apart. But those are a little harder to find. They're a little more expensive. So I just wanted to, I just want to do something really simple. So this is just simple cremini mushroom slice. And so I'm going to add
Love
this.
it. And pretty much anyone who's watching this could probably get access to those mushrooms. I love that you're showing the mushrooms that anyone pretty much can purchase at your local market or your local farmer's market. But, you know, if you want to explore into some of those other mushrooms, like you were saying, those are fabulous as well. Terrific. Okay, so wow, we have barbecue sauce happening here. We have these delicious mushrooms put into the dish with the onion, right? Yes.
Yeah, so there's this, I started with onion and then I added a little bit of minced garlic and then the mushrooms are in here. And then you just have to let the heat do its magic with the mushrooms. So, you know, we need to let that cook down so the mushrooms get nice and brown, nice and fragrant. And so you were asking about my favorite dishes to cook. I love making tacos. I'll put just about anything in a tortilla. I like one of my newest creations is Brussels sprout tacos with peanut sauce. And I know it sounds weird, but it's super good. That recipe is actually in my newest cookbook, The Big Book of Vegan Cooking. And I'll put cauliflower, like crispy cauliflower in tacos. I love to use soy curls. And yeah, I'll definitely save you some leftovers. Beans, and you name it, I'll put it in a taco. This would be a great taco. Barbecue mushrooms with some coleslaw, that would be great in a tortilla. So this recipe is from Eating Vegan, and I've got some of my favorite recipes in here. There's some buffalo cauliflower, and I love pizza. Much like tacos, I'll put anything on a pizza. And I actually have a recipe in here for homemade mozzarella using macadamias. And what else? I feel like I never make the same meal twice. Lunchtime, I like to make gyros or shawarma using maybe soy curls or seitan or even jackfruit. In the summertime, I wind up grilling a lot of food. And that's something that I've had people ask me is like, as a vegan, what do you grill? Because people tend to think grilling is just all about meat, but you can grill anything. You know, I like to grill eggplant. I like to grill portobello mushrooms. I've even grilled salad. You can make like a grilled wedge salad. You can get a big cut of iceberg lettuce and cut it into wedges and grill that. That's super yummy. What else? I like to grill dessert. For dessert, I like to grill fruit. Grilled peaches are delicious. Grilled strawberries, you can put them on a skewer, make some fruit skewers for dessert. Super delicious. As you can see, be careful because this is heavy. The mushrooms are starting to brown really nicely. So I'm just going to let them cook for a few more minutes. And the sauce is all nice and combined. I'm just going to let it stay on the stove and warm up. You don't want it to get too bubbly because then it'll bubble up onto you. But, you know, you want to get it nice and hot and bubbly here. And so the mushrooms they're starting to release liquid. And what you want to do is you want to cook them until the liquid's been reabsorbed. Because otherwise it gets a little too runny. It's not going to kill the dish if it's still a little watery, but you kind of want some of that to cook off, and that's what's starting to happen here. So you can see they look really nice and brown. And I found that people who say that they don't like mushrooms, when I cook them in a dish like this is starting to bubble. When I cook them in a dish like this, where I've cut them up and I add a sauce, people tend to like them. I've made similar dishes for people that say they don't like, in cooking classes, people who tell me they don't like mushrooms, and I'll make them a dish like this where I've chopped up the mushrooms really fine and mixed it with the sauce, and they've given it the seal of approval. So, you know, if you don't like mushrooms, give it a try.
Well, I love mushrooms. There are people who don't, but there are people who do here that are appreciating this incredible recipe. All right, so look at this steam coming off of there. I imagine it smells delicious, Dianne.
Smells really nice. So they're nice and brown. I'm just gonna give it like maybe 2 more minutes. And you know, it's a pulled mushroom. You know, I'm saying it's barbecue sandwich. I think it's kind of more along the lines of sloppy joes. And I have a recipe very similar to this for sloppy joes. The sauce is a little less tangy, and I use some tempeh. So if you want to bulk this up a little bit, you can add tempeh to it. And that might kind of hide the mushrooms for the mushroom haters as well. If you don't like mushrooms, you could try this with jackfruit. Jackfruit does have kind of a briny taste to it. So what I like to do is I saute the jackfruit and then I put it in the oven for a little bit, and that kind of takes away a little bit of the brininess. And if you want to cut back on that last step of putting it in the oven, you could just cook it for a while. I think the longer it cooks, the more you'll get the briny flavor out of there. You can use, what else could you use if you don't like mushrooms? Jackfruit's probably the best thing. Maybe some shredded seitan or some crumbled tofu. So if you see here, it's really nice and brown. So I'm going to take both of these off the heat. This has been really bubbly. It's made a mess on my stove, so it's nice and hot now. And now I'm just going to add the barbecue sauce to the mushrooms.
Okay, what I love is how you make your recipes so simply that I know, and you've told me how delicious, flavor palettes upon layers. Thank you for watching, everybody. And the 40-year-old vegan says mushroom are life. We've got Tom watching. Be sure to put in here, you all. And Tom said, look at those spices. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, my spice rack.
Wow. Now,
spices,
right? Tell us how we found you, because you were recommended by a duo of amazing guys who are producing some really cool content. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so Michael and Ethan from the Vegan Mo's. I just know them through the vegan community in New York City. We have a lot of friends in common, and they were on Lunch Break Live a few months ago. They made an amazing chocolate mousse, which just is made with chocolate and water. So if you missed that one, go back and see it, because I'm a total chocoholic, and that's an amazing recipe. So so they recommended me. So thank you, Michael and Ethan. So here we have, this smells really nice, and it'll clean out your sinuses too. So I'm going to make a sandwich. I have a roll here. This is a nice whole grain roll. This is Dave's Killer bread. I like Dave's Killer bread. I'm not being asked to say that. I just really like their breads. So I'm going to add some lettuce and some tomato slices. And then I'm going to pile this on here. This makes about 4 sandwiches, and you can add whatever toppings you like. If you don't like tomatoes, then don't use tomatoes. Coleslaw is always really nice. I think coleslaw would make this a little too messy, but coleslaw and barbecue sauce go really nice, because the coolness of the coleslaw kind of counteracts it works alongside the tanginess. And then I'm going to add some pickles. And there we have a barbecued mushroom sandwich. And I said it was going to take 20 minutes. It took 15.
Oh my gosh, look at that. That is probably the fastest sandwich I've ever seen made. Wait, hold it there. Don't go anywhere, everybody. This is incredible. Be sure to go find Dianne Wenz. She is approachable and reachable everywhere. DM her if you want to find out more. You can get her books. Oh my gosh, and get inspired by this incredible sandwich. Thank you for joining us here on Lunch Break Live. Tina says, yummy. You got smiles, you got hearts, and flowers. We just appreciate y'all watching Lunch Break Live, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.